Hello, my name is Mark Manka, and I'm here to talk to you about best practices for creating and managing tasks within timeme Pro. So for purposes of this demonstration, I've created a few tasks which we'll use as the basis for our discussion. The first thing to talk about is the easiest way to create new tasks. Using timeme, you'll find yourself reusing tasks and restarting projects multiple times, either in the same day or multiple times throughout the week. And the easiest way to start a new task is to use an existing one as a base. So for example, if I have another task in regards to this in-person meeting, instead of going to the BlackBerry menu key and clicking Start New Task, I can go ahead and just click on the task that's already in my list and then click the play button. What that does is that takes the exact same information that you have here, as well as any description which you might have, and duplicates that as a new task starting at the moment where you press the play button. I personally find myself using this method quite a lot because the way my day tends to work is I'll work on a task, I'll have to work on some other task, and then I'll be able to go back to the original task I was working on. So I find it just easiest to go and select the task that I want to restart, hit the play button, and then I'm off to the races. For purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that task that I started and then continue the discussion. If you find yourself needing to start a task that you already have in your task list but is buried, weeks ago, there's a few ways you can start it. If you have a keyboard, you can type in the first few characters of the task name and you'll see it populated automatically here in the drop-down. Alternatively, you can click on the list and begin to scroll around to find the task that you want to start. Now, once you use timeme for any length of time, you'll begin to find several tasks in your list, and it might be a little tedious to sort through that and scroll through it to find the one you're looking for. Especially if you have long names, such as I've given. You don't necessarily see the entire name within the drop-down list. So the easiest way to find a task is to click the Find button right here and begin typing in a partial word within that task. So even though I only have 3 tasks here, you can see the process for doing that. Just type in house, and any tasks that have house inside of that name will show up inside of the list. You can sort the list alphabetically or by what tasks are most popular or which ones you use most often within your list. So I can go ahead and select my task and it gets automatically populated in the drop-down. Now if I'm satisfied with that, I can go ahead and create the new task, or I can modify the start time. There's a lot that I can do here. If I'm happy with the start time, and so I'm just going to go ahead and create that particular task. The next case I want to talk to you about is creating a brand new task. To do that, again, I go to the BlackBerry menu key and hit Start New Task. Now there's 2 different ways that you can create a new task. I'm going to go from the easiest to the hardest. The easiest way is to either select a task to use as a base or a task that has many similarities to the one that you want to start fresh. Either select it from the drop-down or go to the Find, type in some text, and filter. Now, in this example, we don't want to restart this exact task again. We want to create something new. So what I'm going to do is, because this is already in the drop-down, I can go ahead and hit the New button, and the category, the client, the project, and the task of that selected task template are pre-populated. So what I can do here is, instead of having to enter in manually the category, client, project, and task, I can just change the one that I'm interested in. So in this case, I have a new customer calling me about creating a will for them. So I can go ahead and say, let's create a new customer, and that person's name is Fred Jones. And I'm going to make this client exclusive to a category. And what that means is I might have multiple categories here. I might use timeme to keep track of my work tasks, as well as certain tasks in my personal life. And in that case, I don't want Fred Jones to show up as a client in my personal life. I only want them to show up when I select work. And so in that case, I say I want Fred Jones to be exclusive to a category. So in that case, Fred Jones will only show up in my list if I have already selected work as a category. But in this case, he's new, so I'm just going to go ahead and type that in. And I don't have to modify the project or the task because these were already selected when I selected the drop down above. So I'm going to go ahead and create this task. And now I have a new phone call task about a will with my new client, Fred Jones. So by using an existing task as a template, you can minimize the amount of typing and the amount of clicking that you have to do in order to create a new task. Now, the final way that you can create a new task is to go to the BlackBerry menu, select Start a New Task, and then just create something completely from scratch. So let's go ahead and click the New button, and let's start working. So here I can choose my category of work, and you can see that options have begun to populate themselves because I had several clients, projects, and tasks that I had made exclusive to work. So once I selected work, timeme can begin to populate the other drop-downs, the client, the project, and the task, with things that were exclusive to work. So here I can see I have ABC Corp, Fred Jones, Jane Anderson, and Joe Smith. But here I have a new client, and this is XY or ZYX Incorporated. And again, I'll make this exclusive to a category because I don't want to see them when I'm keeping track of personal tasks. The new project I have, they are interested in acquiring another company. So we're going to put in acquisition. And again, I'll make this exclusive to a category because I might have other clients at a later date that might be hiring me to help them with an acquisition. So I don't want to make this project exclusive just to ZYX Incorporated. I want to make it exclusive to work so that it's available for any other client that may hire me for such a project. And the task, we already have one because this is going to be an in-person meeting. So we just select that and we hit the Create button. So those are the main ways to create new tasks or to restart existing tasks within timeme. We hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.